Welcome back to the Brew podcast, everyone. Settle your scores, pay your debts, and do other things. Bury your worries. It's episode 153. We're here. Episode 153. It was gonna be the long. Oh yeah, I forgot the reason why I even started that whole thing. It's time to repent. That was what I wanted to say. I was gonna say repent, and I was gonna repeat it, and then I was gonna have like a whole thing, but I didn't do it.
It was like a locomotive.
Yeah,
once it got there, the thoughts are there. It
just wasn't there. I lost it because I settle your score was one of the I had in my mind. I had separated these phrases: settle your scores, comma. Yeah. In my mind, I even had the comma. Pay your debts, and then repent. Well, for some reason, I got sever ties stuck in my head. Sever your ties.
Sorry, Stacy.
You don't want to do that. That just sounds awful. Like that's just being, closet case or whatever they say. Don't sever your ties. Keep them. But so I forgot. I forgot to settle your score.
Yeah. Because
I was thinking sever ties. The S's got confused, and I fucked it all up. But it is time to repent. Summer's over. For the parents.
Yeah, for the parents. Yeah, okay.
For the parents, summer's over. Time to repent. Time to pay the piper. I guess.
It's crazy that you say summer's over and it's 95 degrees outside.
It's hot as fuck outside.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hot. That was the other thing I was gonna lead with was how sweaty I was earlier, but I didn't want to scare you off.
So. No, you wouldn't scare me off. So I take an 11 o'clock lap every day, and I was expecting it to be warmer because the wet bulb globe temperature thing was going off on our computers.
Wet bulb globe.
And I had to find out when I worked CQ when I was at OTS. I had to find out how that worked. Like you had to moisten some,
it's a wet bulb.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How does that? So it's like I'm guessing it's like a heat rises kind of thing, or?
It's a sensor that
a sensor
measures both because then like if the humidity is there, the evaporation rate changes too. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you just put it out like in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like in shade or whatever. Yeah. It's in direct sunlight, and it's just what the military uses to dictate operations and training environments. So AETC and I guess active duty bases use it too.
Black flag.
Black flag. I had a lot of black flag days during basic training. It's funny, nice segue. I just celebrated 20 years.
Oh, congratulations! This 20 years. That's a big deal.
That's
a big deal in the military.
That's a big deal. So 20 years.
Congrats.
Last Saturday. If you ever want adulation on Facebook, 3 things: birth of a child. Like kids' birthdays, and apparently military milestones because the amount of DAP and it's awesome.
Great, dude. It's awesome. People should know.
So yeah, now it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, I typically don't.
I'll retire tomorrow.
Every time I think about posting on Facebook, like I was gonna post some really thoughtful things about Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And I just decided not.
So
it's not the crowd, and I don't. And then everyone's just gonna like it. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
About the likes.
So what I do in that situation when I really want to get something off my chest and I think I have something profound, I write it out and then I just delete it.
That's exactly what I did.
And I feel so fulfilled still.
Yeah.
Because 98%
you got it out.
98% of the people on Facebook, I don't care what their retort is.
Right.
So it's not, the juice is not worth the squeeze.
And it always feels somewhat like underhanded, selfish underhandedness. Like,
right.
I'm going to tell the world that I was there. But then I think I don't want to tell them because fuck their opinion, and that's it. So that's exactly what I did. I wrote it out, and then I deleted it.
It's so polarizing. Even with like my with my anniversary, people were commenting and tying in current events to it. I go, not needed. Like this is not
Yeah. That's the and hopefully this doesn't devolve or spiral. I do not participate in 9/11 regalings.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I don't care where you were.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because I was where I was and you were where you were. If we're old enough, then we were somewhere.
Because in generations of past, like the moon landing was a big one. Like my parents and probably Charlie Mom Yeah, actually, Chocolate Mom, she
I don't know.
actually,
She was 64. That was.
yeah, 69
69
for the moon landing.
Well, she was probably. She
JFK,
probably watched
JFK
it.
was 63.
Okay.
So my parents were both born in 60.
I don't know that.
So they went
watching that show.
What show's that?
For All Mankind.
So good.
So good.
So good.
I haven't made it to the 80s yet, so don't spoil it.
Oh, so I passed you.
Yeah, you passed me. I just haven't had time to watch it.
Crushed it in a week. I had to do
that's
it.
fantastic.
I had to do it in vacation.
Oh yeah.
But the moon landing was 69. And,
yeah, people are like, oh, I remember.
The other one, speaking of space, because we're both space guys, was Challenger. January of '86.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember that, but so
no, me neither.
It was interesting because when I hang around with that generation of past, I'll bring that up, like with Mr. Bartell. I've had a discussion if Mr. Bartell knew, and he did. So he was. If he knew where he was, and
where he
the
was.
Significance of it.
The one story I'll entertain is people who were in our place, my former place of work, on that day. I love hearing those stories.
Like in the
that's
building.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Think about that. Well, I was just it doesn't matter. I don't get into those stories.
Yeah, they whitewashed the building because it used to have more paint on it. Yeah.
Oh, I would love to hear more stories about people who were inside the building that day. But other than that, I don't care.
Yeah. But
and you shouldn't care about my story. Like you, as in the royal you, everyone.
Yeah, the royal you. I just like stories. That's why I guess I'm so much of an old soul. But so speaking of stories, this last weekend, did you take in SummerSlam?
Oh, I took in SummerSlam. Did you?
Oh my goodness, I love
SummerSlam, but yeah, go ahead.
I fell asleep during the main event, and I woke up and it was midnight, and I was chatting with the guys, and I was like, I'll turn back on the Xbox. I go, it's probably over. No, sure as shit that match was still going on.
Yep.
That event was a fart noise.
I also fell asleep during the main event.
It's late, and I fell asleep earlier too during one of the other
It was
matches.
late. It was 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, you know me. I will hang out with people and I'll just fall asleep, even engaged in conversation. I might have fallen asleep on the podcast.
It's your schedule and everyone else's schedule, at least that we're, our sphere of influence reaches. They're not connected. They're not parallel. They're
And I even took a nap. I mean, but my naps are 10 to 15 minutes. So I even took a nap that day knowing it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be like a WrestleMania length.
Yeah, it was.
Especially with no meat on the table.
I expect it because it's SummerSlam. I think that's the second WrestleMania, right?
Yep. That's number 2.
I expect it to be a huge event, but yeah, the bill was ho-hum, as you like to say.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing to it.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. There was some good stuff.
So the only reason I'm bringing it up is twofold. One is beer related because we're a beer related podcast. Did you hear about their point of sale system at Allegiant?
No.
Allegiant's a cashless stadium.
Oh, it's cashless. Okay, I didn't know that.
45 minutes into these epic 6-hour event, the point of sale system for the entire stadium goes down.
Ooh.
For the entire night.
The whole night.
For the whole night, they couldn't
sell beer.
They couldn't sell beer.
Well, there's part of your problem right there.
So that was a lot of your problem. So the crowd was when they did like the drip thing, that was hilarious because those people are actually dying of thirst probably.
Yeah.
So they started giving away pop and hot dogs.
Oh, that's good.
I'm
glad they did something.
Satisfy something. So that was one, a complete fail.
Yes, such a huge fail.
The biggest event that they've had there since that stadium opened.
Yeah.
And then 2 was the Bray Wyatt sign.
I didn't see that.
So it was hard camera. Well, because it got so a guy, he spent 30 hours putting Bray Wyatt's face on the Raiders emblem.
No way.
And it's like, big Bray Wyatt, like your son, big Bray Wyatt fan. And they took it away. I mean, it made a hard camera for like the first match and a half.
Wow. He has not connected.
But
with another wrestler.
So that is a guy that has gotten all this attention from all these other companies, kind of like the crying guy during CM Punk when he came back to Chicago. It took 8 years from when he said the ice cream bars, but everyone got their ice cream bars. And there's going to be ice cream bars for the next 3 Chicago AEW events.
Wow, fantastic.
Out of CM Punk's own pocket, by the way. He paid for them all.
That's awesome.
Not the company, he did.
Well, the company by proxy probably paid.
Well,
because I'm sure he's making a pretty penny.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the
is he going to be a weekly?
Yes.
Or
yes,
you know,
he's not,
cable channel
Yep.
event? Good, good. Because
his first match won't be till All Out, which is the first weekend in September, so not that long, but that'll be a showcase then.
Okay, that's good. We've been creeping over there. We're not there yet. The Jericho sing along had us in goosebumps.
Oh, with MJF last year.
We had some goosebumps on that one, and the CM Punk return. We're starting to creep a little bit. Right, if Bray Wyatt's on, it's over because Andrew has not connected whatsoever with any of the current roster.
So the dirt sheets have it all but finished.
Yeah.
That he will join.
Good.
So that's where
I hope so.
So that's where the dirt sheet says.
And I hope he's a weekly guy, or at least every once in a while cable channel one, not just the pay-per-views.
Yeah. Well, they only do 4 pay-per-views a year.
Oh, okay, good.
So to not dilute the product.
Yeah, that's great.
So a lot of beer drinking. I celebrated again this week, so I cracked one of my 120-minute.
I saw that.
Freaking delightful.
Yeah.
We're sporting a new locale IPA today from MadTree.
Yeah.
This will be a part of the blind taste test when we decide to do it.
It's almost there.
This one stands out. Believe me, it
does.
My wife goes, I can see why you love that one because it says citrus and it definitely delivers citrus more than other full calorie IPAs. And then the only piece of beer news that I have is sad news. Ale Asylum out of Madison. So they're the by volume. They're the top 5 by volume brewer in the state of Wisconsin. They're shutting down operations.
Oh dang.
It's assessed. They will probably find a buyer. They're in Madison, so the second largest city in Wisconsin. The problem is they've got such a massive space that they're not able to carry the rent.
Makes sense.
So yeah, and we've had them before on the podcast really early on. We've been doing this 4 years now.
Yeah.
Entering our 4th year. So
driving away last week, I thought, I forgot to mention it.
Well, I didn't realize we did it the first week in August, and now we're in the last week in August.
Yeah, we are, but that's okay.
Yeah, so we're still in the same month, but yeah, so entering our 4th year. So I got to change this will be the last on my notes here. I always put on. So we'll be going to season 4.
Season 4. It's been a wild ride. It's crazy. It's great, and it's going great. I think it's gotten better as the years have gone on.
Yeah, we've definitely gone through iterations.
Yeah. There's been some dips.
Evolving. No, not dips. Like different.
Definitely different.
We're coming up with new gimmicks.
Yeah, every day.
It's not just the same Hulk Hogan.
That's right. Now it's Hollywood.
We're
in the Hollywood phase.
Yep. And then
eventually we'll be in the
Patriot
rapey phase.
The rapey phase.
We will never be in that phase.
I hope we don't get.
Let's be clear,
phase.
We won't.
So that's the only beer news I have. It's just a big producer
that's
shutting down.
Well, I have a couple things. We could always talk about it while we drink, but
yeah.
I'll start with.
Let's try something new this week. Let's not talk while we drink.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great.
We'll just make
it'd be
noises.
good for the YouTube viewers, but the audio listeners.
Yeah.
Which we have a good steady stream of. I wish we had more, but I don't not appreciate the ones we have. So if you're listening audio, thank you. Is
there a chance that Chuggalo Mom does both?
Maybe. How do we bump this up? That's the question. Like I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I've explored a few things in the little time I have for recreational Google searching. And there's a couple places out there that will take you into their network, but that sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be in your network. You're in my network. We've been doing this for 4 years, Like we're pulling you up and you're going to give us more listeners.
I don't know if I've had enough beer to agree with that sentiment.
I don't
know if I've had one low calorie
to agree with that sentiment. Let's start with the big one here. I like this can. So I have to admit, I have such a great trove of beer to bring. I did what I told myself probably
Did you pick this up on the
a year
way?
and a half ago. And I would no longer do that. And I haven't for at least 18 months.
Yeah.
I've not picked beer up on the way. I forgot to get the beer on the way out the door today, and I was already running late.
Yeah.
I had a lunch, and I couldn't be late. I fucking forgot the beer, and it was good beer. We'll have it next week.
Yeah.
That I submit. So I picked this up on the way. This is a dark day for me.
This is a unique can.
But it is. I'm glad I found this.
This is a unique can. I don't even know what the gimmick would be for a 19.2 ounce beer.
Yeah, weird.
There's got to be something.
Weird can. I'm gonna guess it's all about marketing. Let's go ahead and pop this open. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
But like
platform.
crowler, pint.
Yeah, I'm
double deuce.
If I had to guess, it's I don't know why not a pint, because the width is the same, the girth is the same as like a monster can.
You're paying extra for this can.
It was cheap.
No, I'm saying, but when they produce it, when Platform is making this, because this is not a standard.
Maybe this has to do with that shortage. Maybe somebody was like, we don't have those.
I don't want to bury the lead.
Anymore.
You did the research on the way from Pat.
I did the research.
Was Pat there? Was he back from vacation?
I actually wanted to go to Hall's.
Oh, you didn't go to
I came
Hall's.
from the green.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? I'm not going to. I just take Fairfield all the way down.
So where'd you stop?
I stopped at Shell by Beaverview. And I was very disappointed by the selection.
Right there on the Four Corners?
Yeah. It was like Dayton Xenia and Fairfield.
Oh, wow.
It was the most disappointing selection I've seen at a gas station, period. Like, period. I think that these and two, what's the 50 West or something? The only craft beer they had. 2 different 50 Wests, the Braxton and the Platform. They had Truth, but I mean, at this point, who doesn't? Who doesn't have Truth?
Interesting.
So this is Platform's Haze Jude, Hazy India Pale Ale. It says notes tropical fruit, pine, grapefruit. This is gonna be. It's my fault because I have such good beer at home. Great can art.
I've heard stories of
Great
this mythic
art.
beer selection.
It's so good.
JT's.
I have it. It's just sitting there. My father-in-law's been like, "Oh, I want to drink that," and I'm like, "No, that's podcast beer. You can't touch that." I have separated it from the rest. And this can art's fucking garbage. It's Platform's typical shit. Speaking of, go ahead.
While you're going and drinking that, we taught people what a carriage house is. Is this beer?
Yeah.
Is this beer in the carriage house?
It is in the garage. So
Below.
First floor.
So it's not even the second floor of the
carriage house would be the upstairs.
Yeah.
It's not up there.
Yeah.
Now I do have a fridge up there, but it's not plugged in because the bar's still very dirty. I haven't so the bar's done.
Yeah. You couldn't cellar anything up there right now. It's too warm.
I have a dark room in the basement that I've been keeping my cellar
in Chuggalo Mom's basement.
No, not that big. That's
she did confirm she wouldn't stay down there.
She doesn't want me to put beer down there. She doesn't want me to put beer.
She did confirm she would never stay down there.
I can confirm I would also never stay down there. I'm pretty sure there's asbestos down there. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, abating that.
I think that when old radiators, now this would be great for the blue collar chuggalos who understand, the inner workings of homes.
Yeah.
The radiator pipes that heated the carriage house, they're covered in something. Now it's not visible like the white asbestos or whatever.
It's invisible.
It's packed. It's
sorry, Stacey.
wrapped in something.
Yep.
But it's falling apart.
Love.
So I know it's white. And it's like yellow white. I think it's asbestos. So did they wrap heated pipes in asbestos back in 1900?
Did they wrap heating pipes?
Or the pipes that carried hot water? Because the boiler that's what that basement is, the boiler room.
Yep.
It's manually fed, which is fucking crazy. Couldn't imagine that. It carries the hot water up to the radiators upstairs.
I want to know if it still works.
Well, it's manually fed. Just put some wood in there and light it up.
But is there water still in
the pipes are all cut.
They're all drained.
The radiator pipes are all cut. I use the holes to put extension cords through. There's no way for the water to get to the radiators.
Gotcha.
However, I do know I have been seeing that there's radiator extenders.
Yeah.
Or like rejuvenators or something, where it's just a box, boils the water and sends it through.
Yep.
I'm gonna get that. But the radiators,
But you said the pipes are
really
going.
good. Yeah, it screws into the radiator at the radiator. You fill it with water, and then it just makes a solo radiator without pipes work.
Okay, so you're 2 floors up. How do you get the heat up there? Because the pipes, you say the pipes are.
No. So this box, it's like a mini split.
Yeah.
For a radiator.
Okay, got it.
You take a wrench and you screw it into the radiator. It sits off the floor on the radiator. Put water in it, and then it does the cycle thing on its own.
Gotcha.
So it's like you can make an old radiator work on its own. I'm gonna try that.
Someone was asking me about your house, and I go, it's and I'm trying to do it and not give out too much information. Well, you could easily stick a Monopoly game's worth of money into that house and still have, but it's not. But I go, don't get it twisted. It's not a dump.
It's not a dump.
There's just like, if you want to bring it to like modern times.
Yes. There's a lot of work that needs to be done.
But work implies like
It's not a fixer upper.
It's not a fixer upper.
It's not a fixer upper. It's in great condition, but it is a historic house.
There you go.
That has been that has only had very select updates.
Right.
The kitchen
is completely modern.
Is updated. Everything else you can
is period.
Imagine like the radiators. It is from the time and just was fucking cut for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like doesn't work, but still there. We have the old bell system. We have the knob and tube wiring.
Sorry, Stacey.
It scares the shit out of me. Because you can go in the basement and touch the knob and tube wiring, and you can just shock the shit out of yourself. It's just right there.
Well, that you're touching
you gotta touch
the
one
bear.
of them.
Yeah, you're touching
There's
the
two.
bear. Yeah.
So we're actually we're thinking about getting that redone. But yeah, so you could put a Monopoly game's worth of money into that house.
Like just in your
bring
carriage
it up
house.
to code. In the carriage house alone? Yeah, probably. Well, we did find a well, which means that we might not have to pay the price we thought we had to pay to get the water working.
Out in the carriage house.
Yeah. The original quote was $10K, but that was to pipe from the house to the garage. But we found a well in the garage, like a well thing.
Yeah. So it might
already be there. We might just be good to go.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. So anyway.
Yeah. Carriage house.
Carriage house.
3 stories.
I didn't know Wisconsin had them. Well, it's not 3 stories. It's 2 stories with a basement. But the basement's a boiler room. You're not going to live down there.
There is a full attic that you can stand up in.
Oh, well, that will be the 3rd story once it's completed.
3-story.
You can stand up, and we're going to
For people not familiar with a carriage house, he's got a 3-story garage with a basement. So technically 4 levels.
It's true. And once we sell that boiler for like the bajillion dollars it's worth.
Is it cast iron?
It's cast iron. It's a 1918. I used to know the brand name too. It's a 1918. Very few were made of this particular year model.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if there was like the Busch Light Apple. I don't know if there was like a fuck up at the factory, but this is a very rare boiler for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we're thinking if it's worth, because we're gonna have to rip up the concrete to get it out. I'm not doing
the floor. It's gonna have to be
the garage floor will have to be cut, lifted, moved out, and then a crane will have to come in and pick this thing up.
Yeah, it's gonna have to cherry
heavy.
Yeah.
It might actually be worth that much to do that amount of work. So once we do that, then we can get the carriage house just decked out. But I don't know. Maybe I want to keep this thing on there. It's a piece of history. I would. At what point does history
clean it up?
Yeah, clean it up. Get that room asbestos free.
Just like
use it as a. We're thinking about making it into a like a shelter. Like, what do you call those? The people who stockpile for the apocalypse.
Oh, a prepper.
Yeah, maybe doing one of those kind of rooms.
If there's ever a tornado, just chain yourself to that thing because ain't no F5 picking that thing up.
Hell no, that thing's not going anywhere.
Yeah. You just have to let the county know in that case that that's your escape room, so they can, or your prep room, so they can come and let you out. You have to do that with the county because then they actually come and find you.
Oh, they do?
Because there's places in this area because there's, believe it or not, there's a lot of places without basements, So this is a hot tip for you.
Airborne.
If you have a house, but so they make those portable shelters.
Oh yeah.
They'll just be like a cutout in your garage. It almost looks like you're getting an oil change, but so you can. It's just got a couple of benches in there or whatever. You have to register those with the county, with their emergency response unit, because like if a tree falls on that or your house falls on it, they will come get you first.
Wow.
Because they know that you're trapped. And some of those things can be pretty tight.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to suffocate. So as soon as available, but you have to register those with your county.
Oh,
that's what I would do with your basement. Register it with Montgomery County just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
In case you did that. But
good idea.
On to the beer.
On to the
this
beer.
is just this is conversation you have when you're talking about beer.
It is. Well, we had a conversation about carrot shots last week. We got to continue it. Got to keep it going.
There's so much
we
to
could
talk
do it
about.
3 weeks in a row.
Doesn't do it justice.
I do still have a lot of stuff to talk about from the first segment, which we are now carrying over.
Yeah,
which I'll do.
We'll continue.
Let's talk about
This is a 19.
It's a pretty tall beer.
It's a very filling beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, usually we pound these pretty quick, especially the first beer. But this is going to take some work.
Yeah, this is going to take some
and
work. We
you
might
can
want to
tell-
break open our second and just double fist it.
Just this. Sorry, Stacey.
Yeah,
this is really
that's the weight of the beer right there.
that's the what's getting.
Yeah, 1 pint, 3.2 fluid ounces. Platform Haze Jude, hazy IPA. So it says grain. Do you want me to read these? Did you read them? Don't read them.
No, I haven't read them.
If you want to, all right, I won't read them either. I saw the grains, but that was it. And we'll see if we can guess around. Don't look.
Birds of Paradise.
I'm not going to do a can bonus segment because this is a platform can. It's always this way.
The only thing that they
Sometimes the
change
colors
is
change.
like a European flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. They'll just change the iteration on the flag. So
that's it. That's the can art bonus segment brought to you by Chuggalo Dave.
still Chuggalo Dave.
You're not Chuggalo Dave. You were upset about
Sorry,
the beer score, but the longevity of your
I don't think he
sponsorship-
was disappointed that he's not just delivering home runs.
Right.
all the time.
You can't always deliver a home run.
Yeah.
It's just
You
not-
gotta have a Kinslager in that.
You
thing.
gotta have a Kinslager, but he didn't have a Kinslager.
No.
He had some. What did we have last week? It was like a 3.5.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't last week. That those beers were on me because we were out of sequence. It was a couple
Yeah,
weeks
that's
ago.
right,
It
that's
was the Drecker that he drove.
No, I know, but I'm saying like we get more mediums than we get highs and lows.
Yeah,
That happens. Gotta be prepared for it.
I do have a question for you though. As we,
I'd love to
this
answer
is
it.
a beer drinking question.
When I came here, I was like, I hope he has a question for me.
Would you rather have? And
Ooh, would you rather?
Oh yeah, it's an either or.
Mhm.
This is a question that Chuggalo Mom also would be curious to know your answer. Would you rather have a nipple-sized penis or penis-sized nipples?
Yeah. That's such a good question. When did we talk about this? Last week?
Did I already bring it up on the podcast?
Yeah.
Dang it.
At least we've talked about this together. I don't know if it was
So
on the
then it
podcast
would probably
or
only
not.
have been the podcast.
Penis-sized nipples or nipple-sized
Yeah, we
penis.
did talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Dang it.
It's a good question though because
You wanna change your
we've let
answer?
it sit. We've let it sit for a while now.
I've asked a couple of people.
Still penis-sized nipples, no doubt about it. But what are we talking? Penis? Like, what's the nipple size here? What's the penis nipple
5
size?
inches. 5 inches.
Oh, 5-inch nipples?
5 inches.
That's fine.
That's the
I
scale.
can do it. I'll tape them down.
God, now I'm
They
disappointed.
don't
Now I
get.
gotta come up with a
I
better.
guess nipples do get boners.
I gotta come up with another question. Question of the week.
We'll get it.
Another segment.
Come on.
I'm flirting with.
If you want to go with the beer, talk about the beer. you
Yeah,
can.
so I would like.
I'd
I would like to talk about the beer. This beer tastes every bit of 19 ounces.
Yeah.
I need to. This is not crushable. This is the furthest thing from crushable.
This is the type of review, just real quick,
Yeah.
that you don't get from the other podcasts where they do tasters. This is the only situation I
Yeah.
agree with you about the flights, is that you have to experience this beer in full.
Yeah.
That's part of the review.
Chuggalo Ryan is big on flights. He went to
I like flights.
80 breweries this summer because him and his wife are teachers.
5 beers at each.
And he had at least 5 beers at each because he's a big boy.
Fucking.
And he's just sending me pictures. And so, again, as fervent as a... Because I tell people I'm into beer tourism, but he definitely beats the pants off me. And that's appropriate. I'm saying it correctly.
I'm also into beer tourism. I like that term.
Yeah, that
is exactly what my wife and I are doing.
I've had to put down multiple times in like the last year, like some of my hobbies. I always put down beer tourism.
That's such a great term.
Even though I haven't been to as many breweries as JT and his wife and Chuggler Ryan, anyone else has been to more breweries than me.
No way.
Of the listeners, I bet Chuggler Mom's probably had more breweries than last year. But
she didn't even go to Whiskey Hill. I mean, she has.
Well, that's smart.
She's gone to 0 breweries, and she's been to D20. That's it.
And she's been to D20.
No, 0 breweries and D20.
She has.
So one thing. She's been one place.
But anyways, so as I'm Superman, and he's my Lex Luthor, where I'm always going to be on the opposite, even though maybe I've softened tasters or flights and stuff like that, which I haven't. It's fun to have a gimmick that to faux hate, but
you got faux hate.
Boo to flights. So anyways, this beer is not crushable. I feel like I've had a lot, and I feel like I'm well over halfway left.
Oh my god!
As an optimist,
I mean, I feel like I've been drinking this beer for
it's like
at least 2 episodes.
This is like Coors, or MGD. This is like pork chop in a can for craft.
MGD has way more
for craft beer.
Carbonation. That's what this needs. A heavy beer like this needs way more bubbles, so that when you burp, at least you feel relief.
Oh yeah, you're not.
Because right now there's no relief from this beer. I mean, it's heavy as fuck right now. Like I've been drinking this beer for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids were born, and I was drinking this
beer. We're doling out just a ton of fucking knowledge.
A ton of knowledge. Speaking of, my father-in-law, him and my mother-in-law moved from California. Okay, they're staying with us till they find a house.
Yeah.
Taking them to breweries. I did something that I didn't do the first, 3 times I went to Rheingeist.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
You left your pants at home. You went
I did leave my pants at home, but I did that the first 3 times too.
Okay.
I've always left my pants at home when I go to Rheingeist.
Did you ride a scooter there with them?
That would have been awesome. I saw the scooters, but we didn't. We
Oh.
drove. I never.
You almost died.
I never had the awareness to realize that they're on Elm Street. Like, that's awesome. There's so much that you can do with that around the holiday we celebrate in my household.
But all of their beer is one word.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So how would you? Because I know
not,
where you're going.
Not beer, just events.
Oh, events.
Events. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, come on, that's awesome.
Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th? What camp?
What camp am I in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Friday the 13th.
Okay. We're the same. Okay.
Good. Yeah. Jason is so much scarier than Freddy Krueger. Fuck Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
My dreams, dude. I don't fucking wake up.
Don't
You're
fall
dead.
asleep.
Boom. I just woke up. Freddy's dead. So we walk. Rheingeist has this very it has this. How do I explain it? It's you've been to Wrigley Field. Maybe you do this at formerly Miller Park as well.
No, that you're gonna open. It's always Miller Park. Everyone,
right?
When they say they go there, still take.
So here's the thing, though. I have just so loved the service from American Family Insurance that I'm on board. Like, they're so good. They were awesome to us when our basement flooded. This isn't even a commercial. They just were really good. I'm fine with them changing the name.
Sorry, Stacey.
Although it is, Wisconsin will always be Miller. It's Miller. Come on.
Yep.
You walk up. So when you go to a stadium like that, baseball, football stadium, I don't get the same feeling at the indoor arenas. You walk up these stairs from the concourse, and it's just like the heavens have opened up, right? And you're like, holy shit, I'm in the place I should be in. That's how I feel when I am at Wrigley. I walk up because everything's up.
Yeah,
even to get down to the front row, you have to go up first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Wrigley Field. When I went to Rheingau says the same thing. You have to go up these stairs before you can get to the
old industrial stairs
guest area.
Yeah.
Well, I opened the door and I just like took it in.
Yep.
That place is awesome. Like Rheingau really is such a wonderful place.
Speaking of Cincinnati and 2 years since the Bobo, I
still got that money.
I found the name of that cafe that we ate at.
Did you?
Yep.
What was it?
So believe it or not, remember Double A? He made us that Google Earth KML.
Yeah.
I still have that KML. I opened that, and it's in there.
Is it the cafe we ate at first or
yeah,
last?
The first one.
Oh, the first one? Yeah, that was good. I want to go to the last one, where I'm probably on the wall as being banned.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For asking for bread.
I would be able to find that one in a couple of minutes.
I did need that bread, by the way.
So, the Fireside Cafe, where they would serve us breakfast.
Yeah, Fireside. Breakfast and beer.
I told Stacy, because now that Tanks is hugely disappointing, I go, we would have to be without the girls because it's probably a 40-minute drive there. But I remember, and that gal played into us. Like,
oh yeah,
she knew
what she was doing. She knew we were gonna drink,
and we were gonna tip the shit out of her. And I know
heavily. Yeah, it was great. What a wonderful idea.
Fireside Cafe,
breakfast and beer. Fireside Cafe.
Please be open on the weekend.
This is a commercial,
and have an amazing. And we haven't been there in 2 years, over 2 years.
We have.
I think it was
over $300
before Father's Day weekend.
In a sock in my garage. Carriage house.
It's in the carriage house?
Well, now I'm going to move it inside.
Yeah.
But, yes.
Well, yeah, no one would be able to get in there anyways, but...
I have high security, very high security. I've hired the guy from...
the fact that your carriage house is 4,000 square feet is the security, because they wouldn't be able to find it. Just throw it in that pile off to the left.
Pile?
You know where it is.
The pile off to the left.
Yeah, when you walk in. You know where it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know where it is. Well, it's
put it in like a purple Easter egg. Just throw it.
No, yeah. Just hide it. Yes, Rheingau we walked up the stairs.
When did you go?
I took it in. That's what I did that I didn't do the first couple of times. I just kind of like walked through the door and I was like this is Rheingau. Because the first couple of times I was like, oh, this is there and this is there. The rooftop's over here. And I think when we went, we were on a mission to the roof.
Yeah,
we
because
didn't really stop until after the roof we came down.
Because I think Cobra and I hadn't been to the roof.
Yeah. The indoor...
But we've been there so many times.
The indoor part of Rheingau is really an experience.
Plus the event
should not
space
be undersold.
Yeah, no.
It's a really, really great brewery, and it was awesome.
You can tell that the P&G money really propped that place up, because Rheingau is not an OG of anything. You know, they've only been around half the time that we've lived in Ohio. So, like, we came up with Rheingau.
We did.
But it's insane the amount of money they've had put into that place.
The influence they have just on over the Rhine neighborhood is huge.
Yeah, because
that whole neighborhood is different.
Has built around them, because they built in a place where there wasn't a friendly. North Market was right there. Like
it's not friendly.
Couple blocks away. North. Oh,
1 block away. You're driving and you're like, where the fuck?
My in-laws were a block away 3 years ago, and we're in a gun battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
A block away.
We talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Our whole lives are playing out on the podcast. But we were driving and it was like
I still can't believe you
it
didn't
was
ride
like
the scooters.
Sleepy Sunday.
Yeah.
There were people sleeping in the porches, stoops, streets, everything. Just sleeping. Everyone was sleeping. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, siesta.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was weird. I felt safe, but it was a lot of people sleeping. I don't know what that's about. Probably went to Rheingau. I took a nap after I went to Rheingau.
On the way back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Katie's driving. I'm napping. That's how it works. Oh, it's just such a great brewery. Also went to DBC. We'll talk about that next beer. What do you think?
In the same day?
No.
Okay, I was going to say
I'm taking him. We're gonna hit the breweries. I wanted to do Branch and Bone, but I said, "What are you into? What are you feeling?"
Take him to 5th Street.
Yeah, I want to go to 5th Street
because
I haven't even been there myself.
Because Stacy, my wife took her best friend a couple weekends ago, and she goes, "This is the coolest place." And then they went to Warped Wing too, and she would go to 5th Street.
The funny thing about 5th Street is that no matter what, you know who's going to the brewery if they're walking on the street.
Oh yeah,
You're like brewery, not brewery, not brewery, brewery. Like just middle-aged white dudes in cargo shorts.
They just had the neighborhood that it's in. They just had the St. Ann Hills Festival too. So the brewery was annoyed that they shut down the street like 3 hours before they. Sorry, Stacy, before they needed to.
Yeah.
And so that was awesome. But so even an individual from Wisconsin was like that place is awesome. And then we were able to find names on the wall and everything like that. So
yeah, I haven't been there. But if someone can give me some insight as to why Eudora was fucking packed last week, I would really appreciate it. Like that's why we went to DBC because you
were gonna go to Eudora?
So, well, here's what I said. What are you feeling? Because I wanted to take him to Branch and Bone. My ultimate goal was to go Branch and Bone. And I said, "What do you want?" He said he wanted an ale. And I was like, "Well, I mean, I can get you like a spontaneous ale or something, but." I don't think that's what you're asking me. You're asking me for like a standard.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go to Eudora. Maybe you'll like it. At least the breeze will come in through the garage doors and it'll be fine. They were fucking packed. The garage or the parking lot was packed. No spots. Then the street 1 block away, cars lined up. I mean, this place was fucking full. I don't know if it was a release day or if it was like Eudora Poser Day or whatever. I don't know.
Poser Day.
Yeah. All I know is that we were like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Actually, my father-in-law was like, no, let's go. But he's from California, so
they're always crowded. Yeah.
I was like, no, we gotta get out of here. This is stupid. We went to DBC and we walked right up to the bar. It was easy.
Gotta go Midwestern.
Anyway. Yeah. So we went to DBC because that was the second, like, ale. I'm thinking Eudora. Not in quality. I'm thinking like where you can get the most.
Yeah.
Eudora, DBC, and then I don't know after that. You want fruited beers, you're going to Branch and Bone.
Yeah.
And you want like hoppy sour or hoppy IPAs.
DBC's got a good smattering of an Ohio offering.
Dude, DBC is just like, I got a lot to say. Well, let's rate this beer first.
Yeah. So I'm almost done with it.
Yeah.
Off the top rope, this is off-putting how filling this is.
I'm at the green line here.
Yeah, I'm close. It's whatever on the palate, but and normally I'm not going to complain about a quantity thing. This is like a beer challenge. Like I would love to see like Chugga Orion try to chug this because it feels like I drank a 6-pack. Off the top rope, I'm gonna have to take that away from it. 2.5. It's just
it's too much.
Hayes Jude is a good name.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about that. We should talk about this beer more than other beers and breweries. 2.5 from Matt. I stopped enjoying this beer about halfway through. It is too much. It's just too much. And I'm not sure. The price was phenomenal. $2.95 per can. I thought that was great.
So you only bought 2 cans, right?
Yeah.
So now you're not, because this is a algorithm type thing. You don't like having dead beers in your fridge.
I don't. I give them away.
Where me, I love them because then I just give them to people or whatever.
Yeah, I give them away.
You have a party, people show up.
True.
Hey, I'm just gonna crack a bunch.
No
of
one
these.
comes to my parties. That's a proven fact that we have at least 2 people who come to my parties.
I take offense to that statement because I come and I stay way longer than I probably should.
You and Randy Orton and his wife.
And I've bled at your parties where I probably should have went to the
That was
hospital.
actually not a party. That was a
That was a party.
That was the Rubik's Cube.
No.
Oh, it was a party. Oh, it was the Halloween.
Because I brought a pretzel.
All right. So gradually, I think COVID fucked it up, but also people for some reason didn't see the date right. I don't know how that works.
Well, I did that. I did that for a Stabs party.
Yeah.
Where I fucked up.
I guess it does happen. Yeah.
And I showed up.
You showed up.
I showed up.
I was
though,
not
to
talking
the wrong
about
day.
you.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about you.
No, I was just saying the Steps party. So the whole we got the wrong weekend is kind of BS because I showed up to Steps on the wrong day, and his dad gave me a cross look.
Well,
like, oh shit, you're here on the wrong day.
I bet Stev welcomed you with open arms.
He wasn't there.
Well, that
good thing his dad
terrible.
was. Otherwise, it was like, oh really? You've never been.
Yeah, you didn't go to.
You didn't come to.
You missed a real banger, man.
He's got
They had tents and party games.
He's got a 6-story carriage house. Steb does.
Steb does, yeah. Steb has a very large.
At the end of the podcast, we're going to put the address for Steb's house down here on the bottom.
I'm gonna scroll right here.
Scroll right here. Right there.
It's not low enough. So I stopped enjoying this beer halfway through.
Sorry, Stacey. Jesus.
Don't. It's gonna shock the world. I don't give two flying fucks about Paul McCartney, and I don't like his music. And Hayes Jude
is Beatles though.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not a Beatles fan.
I also don't care about the Beatles. I don't.
Beatles fan.
Everyone. It's gonna be controversial. I know we're gonna wind up on like True entertainment news and shit, talking about what we said, but I don't give a fuck about the Beatles either.
So I understand. I'm logging back into my Untapped. I understand why people clamor over them because they were kind of trend-setting ish.
Yeah.
I went and saw Love out in Vegas for the Cirque du Soleil show, and I appreciated how they amalgamated the Beatles to like all the wild crazy shit that they were doing. But like you'll never catch me jamming out to. Yeah. So I appreciate them. Never going to be in my rotation.
That's it. I understand music on a level that I think that I have a more advanced music appreciation than most people. Yeah. Not most people, but some people. I get the Beatles. I get it. If they were paving the way, fine. I just like the Ramones did the same thing, but I don't give a fuck about the Ramones. Like I like punk that came after that. They set the stage, and then a couple other people did it better.
So I'm just showing. I was looking at other check-ins on the podcast.
That's awesome.
Cobra actually rated this beer. He was the first one to rate the beer. So
shit.
Ironically,
he probably likes
at D20
the Beatles. I would think that Cobra likes the Beatles. What do you think?
No.
Okay. All right.
They updated the app. That's why it had to log me back in.
Yeah. So Hayes Jude. I think the beer has a good flavor. I think it's sustainable for 12 ounces, and then that's it. And then you need to move on with your life. This was 19 ounces, 19.2 ounces. Too much. It was on the glass door for the refrigerator at Shell. So I'm if I had to guess, either this can has something to do with the can shortage, or it was a gimmick. Not 100% sure. I don't know about the tropical fruit. If you wanted to sell melons in this, maybe. Pine, I can get the pine out of there. Grapefruit,
pineapple was
maybe if you're thinking dankness and grapefruit together because of that bitter fruit flavor, sure. But I don't agree with most of the claims on this can. It's basically what I would sell as a generic hazy IPA. Here's what a hazy IPA tastes like. Here's what you get.
It's a stovepipe. I thought a stovepipe was in the 20s. I apologize. We've had a stovepipe. 1050 was a 19. It was a stovepipe.
No shit.
Because I had to look it up.
All right.
Stovepipe.
Oh, I did not know that. It's like a stovepipe hat.
So it's a normal can. It's just not a regular denomination or volume for a can.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give this beer a 3.0. The taste isn't off-putting. Yeah, the can selection is not a good choice. That's it.
Because that 1050, you put bigger beers in stovepipes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stovepipe. And we did that. I wish I knew what episode that 1050 was, but it's one of the previous 152 episodes. It's crazy. That many episodes.
Next beer we got here, Garage Beer. I love the name. Should be Carriage House beer.
Carriage
It's
House.
not. That's okay. Ready? You good?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
What are you doing Friday?
What am I doing Friday? I don't know.
All right.
I'll look.
Let me know.
I will. What are you doing Friday?
I've got an open weekend.
Holy shit.
Let's go down to Barrel House.
Oh, we could finally do our episode 150.
We've already done 150.
Yeah.
Never go in the
That
past.
was the joke. That was the joke.
Oh. We'll delete the other one.
This is Braxton Brewing Company Garage Beer, Covington, Kentucky. Yeah, that's it. That's all that needs to be said.
Your father-in-law is really going to enjoy this one, I can tell.
So they're selling this beer as clearly a light beer, a Miller Lite.
It's weird coming from the previous flavorful
Holy shit.
I say pork chop in a can, so that's like the most craft beer pork chop in a can beer I've had. All the Wisconsin and all the northern Midwest guys will appreciate the pork chop in a can beer. Going from that to this is, I always challenge people to have a bunch of good beers in a row. It doesn't matter, stout, whatever, IPA. Drink whatever craft you're going to drink. Then go to a Miller Lite or a Bud Light. It tastes like a Miller Lite tastes like, oh, this is filtered through wood.
Yeah, right.
The step down and the consideration, if you're just drinking Miller Lite all day,
you'll
sustain,
never
never have that situation in that day. But going from something like that where it's just super flavor profile to something where it's just like a sustained beer like this, it's shocking to the palate, how obscene and old and old. Dusty library.
It is, old dusty library. Or have you ever had the fortunate experience of cleaning out a toolbox before a move? Like a stand-up rolling toolbox?
Well, I'm going to clean it out before I'm moving.
We got to take your tools and pack them up. You don't want to leave them in there.
No.
All shuffled up.
So I've only moved once, when I've been successful in life.
I'm now realizing that I didn't have to take those tools out of that box.
So
I could have left it in there.
I've only moved once as I was successful in life, but so and it was 10 years ago. So when I lived in Eau Claire, my dad had all the tools, and I had a full garage full of anything I would ever want to do. Half the shit I didn't know how to use. So when I came here, all the tools I had were a screwdriver set that fit, and it's a screwdriver I still use to this day. So I had to acquire tools. Thank goodness for my father-in-law and my dad. But yeah, no, I'm looking to buy big tool chests like that, so I can organize my garage.
Yeah, I'd love to organize in a tool chest. I have a tool chest.
Come over Friday.
Yep.
We'll go get a bunch of shit from there. We'll just hang out in the garage.
From where?
Brewing Barrel House.
Barrel House. All right.
We don't even have to wear pants.
I don't wear pants most of the time. I wear shorts. Covington, Kentucky. That is the town right across from.
Right across. This is right next to Party Source. Have you ever been to Party Source?
I haven't, but I know of what you speak.
Yeah, so you can see the river, and you can see Great American Ballpark, and you can see Paul Brown from this place.
Yeah, Paul Brown. You can also see those two stadiums from Rhinegeist.
Yeah, if you get up on.
You gotta get on the
rooftop.
And it was 100 degrees. And I did. Get on the roof. It was so fucking hot up there.
They didn't have the sunshades out?
The people, half the sunshades are broken and have signs that say, this sunshade's broken, please do not open.
Oh, you didn't sit at the bar, you tried to sit out?
Well, we kind of walked around, but the bartenders were they'd given up on life pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, well, not in a depressing way, but in a fun, spirited kind of way.
Oh,
they were we're here and it's hot as fuck. How do we do it? Nah, we don't even know.
Do they make like beer
That's kinda how they
cocktails in?
work.
Like,
No beer cocktails. It's just taps. There's nothing to make a cocktail with. They don't even have soda on pop on the top.
yeah. Crazy.
They have pop below, and it does say on the website, "Children welcome." And children were welcome. I brought my kids.
Because that's how they're gonna get money. Because people are like, I'm going fucking stir crazy.
Yeah, I'll go.
What's gonna make me a better parent?
Let me get $4 Sprite, please. Thank you.
I'm not taking my 2-year-old to a brewery.
No, 2 years old, no. But they have bags. They have these other games. They have all kinds.
They
of
have
shit.
other games.
Like, there's this game where
stick a fork into an outlet.
All right, do you tell me what this game's called?
Yep.
Okay, it's a platform it's
Is it washers?
It's a parallelogram on all sides.
Yep.
That's the base. Then it's got 4 poles that hold up another upside down parallelogram.
Yep.
You shoot a ball, it's a beanbag ball, but it's round, into this parallelogram.
Yep.
If it happens to make it into the hole in the center of the top parallelogram, it falls through the 4 poles, and you stack up the balls until it reaches the top.
Yeah.
What is that game?
It's never.
Exactly. That's a game they have. There's also bags.
You don't like, but you don't like playing games.
They have ping pong.
You don't like
Right,
playing
but my kids do.
Yeah.
They like playing games. And next door there's a place it sells chili, some sort of chili.
JT at the Summer Fling played 0 of games.
I wanted to play games. I really did.
Zero.
I was trying to play games. I'm actually a really skilled frisbeer.
You should got up.
No one asked me to be on their team. Steph was like, "Oh, you're my partner," and I was like, "Boom! I got a partner. I'm gonna grab a beer.
Yep.
And I'll be right there. I'll be your partner."
Yep.
By the time I got the beer, his fucking guy had a partner already, a new partner.
Who threw with Steph?
Oh, it was Pete. He had a new partner. He was the one who said, "Be my partner."
Because
who threw with Pete?
Pete was my teammate first.
Oh yeah, you took my spot. Yeah, you took my spot. Pete said, "JT, you're my partner." I said, "All right, I'm grabbing a beer. I'll be right there. We're gonna throw some fucking frisbees.
Yep.
We're gonna win all the games."
There was multiple frisbee games out there though.
Yeah, but I don't want to hit a bottle off of.
You don't have to hit.
I want to play the
stick.
game with the basket that you guys are playing.
Hit Can Jam. It was awesome.
That's a pretty cool name.
I played 6 games and I took second place each time. Didn't win.
That's in a game where you only have 2 teams.
That was
Second's the next
me.
best you can get behind first.
And you're supposed to play that game at 50 feet. We were playing at 30.
Oh, well, you should definitely push that out next year. Because Craig was just dominating.
He's way too good.
I want to see if he's that good in distance.
That's a game, and I was talking with the guys up at the cabin. That's a game that we're gonna bring up there because we got a little more space. But the problem is, I could see a couple of the elder statesmen just fucking chucking frisbee because they're not quick. You got to be nimble.
Got to be quick and nimble. Like Jack.
This beer, if you notice, there's not much. This is like an ancient lager.
They're selling you. Yeah, I got some things to say about that. But DBC.
Yep.
We went there.
Yep.
Absolutely phenomenal selection. Was not expecting to have. I think they have 40 beers on tap.
Have you never been there before?
Yeah, I had.
Okay.
I don't remember so many beers being theirs. Because they kind of do a whole like toxic thing where they.
So I've only been to Toxic twice, and not in the last.
I've been there once.
5 years.
But they tap other brewers' beer.
Yeah. So DBC used to do about a third.
Yeah, no.
So now
it's 40 out of 50 taps are theirs. Like a shitload of DBC beer.
Wow.
So many choices. And if it's 40 beers that they have, then 30 of them were. Whatever it is.
Yeah, so they have 40.
It's like
it's a 40. It's a
40. So then 30 of them were DBC beers. That's a lot of beer to select from, and 30 of them are theirs, which is what I encouraged my father-in-law. I said, pick the DBC beers.
Were some of them like Lost Cellar?
Later.
Did you remember that?
I did not see Lost Cellar
because they have like other spin-off beers that are.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see that.
That are deceiving.
But they're like Hallmark beer, I guess, is the Now I'm blanking on it. I'll have to get
Oregon Alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is.
Oregon Alley, as I like to call it, for my wife. It was fucked up.
Skunk?
It had to be. Something was wrong with it. So we had it, and I was like, ooh, something's wrong with this beer. Brought it up to the bartender, and he's like, oh, yeah, something's wrong with this beer. And took it off tap. All because of me.
Saving people.
Saved everyone the hassle. It tasted like a Christmas beer.
It's a neat space when you walk into DBC, but it's just like a production. Like it's not a Rheingeist.
Yeah, it's not a Rheingeist.
I like Warped Wing like better.
They do that facilities better. Go, yeah, Warped Wing.
Sorry, Stacey.
Warped Wing nailed it. Yeah, but DBC. So they have a few beers there that I think they did a great job. I wasn't expecting it. You should can more beer, DBC. Can the gingerbread beer. That's all I have to say. I had a gingerbread
spice.
Beer. It was so
a spice lager, huh? Yeah, is that your jam?
No, but it tasted like cookies. It was so good. And you know me, I like cookies. All right, Braxton Garage Beer. This is a garage beer. Give your thoughts.
It's accurate. It's on point. It's refreshing to drink after the pork chop in a can. This is something like, honestly, you're just sitting around talking dumb about smart things or smart about dumb things. There's nothing like unique or anything. They just needed to make a standard. Braxton overall as a brewer, I'm disappointed in. Most of my Braxton experience was from our Spectral Suds Club. That we did for quite a while. There was a bunch of gimmick like Graders beers. Yeah, that they brought in. Graders is a local ice cream shop in the area. I think they're a small chain, probably seven or eight.
They've been making ice cream since like 1880.
Yeah, but again, off the top rope, it is what it is. The best part is not the platform beer, but it's off the top rope 2.5. This is. Yeah. It's a lager.
It's a lager.
It's a lager at a craft price, right?
$10.
Oh my goodness.
$10 for a 6-pack.
Goodness.
You hear my thoughts because I gotta pee like crazy after this fucking monster beer.
That's coming next.
You are not going to be taken seriously as a garage beer unless in some capacity you sell a cheap as fuck 24-pack, or even better, a 30 case.
A rack.
You sell these fucking expensive ass 6-packs and you give me what I could have gotten in a $6.99 Miller Lite 6-pack.
Yeah. What are you doing for me?
Just yeah, exactly. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Nothing. I get it. I get what you're trying to do. But you can't give me a garage beer at a craft beer price. You got to give me a garage beer prices, and craft beer prices. You collaborate with Graders. I'll pay your $10. I'll try the beer. You do this garage beer thing. You can't do what you did. And I bought it because honestly there was only 2 other craft beers at the Shell. I'm glad I did though, because now I know. So what they're trying to do is be like the anti, right?
So the thing with beer or craft beer is like tits.
Tits.
I want to see them all.
You want to see them all.
I don't have to like them all.
But sometimes you just didn't like what you saw.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Craft beer is like tits.
Craft beer is like tits.
You want to see them all.
They're not all 5s, guys.
Sometimes I'm going to ask you to put that bra back on.
Sometimes they're 2.5s. Sometimes they're 1s. Sometimes they're 0s. Put that shit away.
Yeah. I'm not willing to give it a 0. It's
no. I haven't even given my score, but it's not a 0 for sure. It's not a 0. At the intersection of hard work and innovation, you'll find a garage full of ideas and a few cold ones to inspire what's next. There's 2 uses for a garage. Well, there's 3. 1, park your car, right?
Yep.
If you use it for its intended purpose. 2, you're a startup like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. You're in there and you're not drinking this shit. You're drinking, I don't know, what the fuck do you think Steve Jobs drinks? He probably drinks something like
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs probably drinks.
Doesn't drink anything, he's dead.
Well, yeah, not anymore.
Turtlenecks.
But like people who
he didn't drink.
People who create startups in San Francisco, what do you think they drink? They're drinking
hobo piss.
Yeah, hobo piss. And then the third use is you're using it as a workshop.
Fourth use.
Fuck
a prostitute.
You could do that.
I mean, you don't do that in your own bed.
Really, the realm of possibilities is endless. But I'm just saying, like the major, if you were to make a histogram, 3 bars that are the largest. Probably.
Yeah.
Park your car.
Fifth option.
Build
Instagrams.
Yeah, you can't sell this beer for $9.99. I just think it's a crime. It's a crime to sell this beer for $9.99. I'm literally gonna call the police once we're finished with this podcast. To call it a premium lager. Come on, man. I don't know. I get what you're doing. The can looks great. It stands out. It definitely has the appeal of a simple beer. It's just not. It's well, it is. It's you said it's corn or rice. What do you think? Guess wrong.
Sadness.
Braxton's gonna come down on you.
Oh yeah, Big Braxton.
Because we're the podcast.
I go to Party Source all the time. I never go, you know what? We need to go to Braxton and get something to drink. I never say that.
You know what? I actually had the recommendation at Rheingeist by a Rheingeist bartender to go to Urban Artifact.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, I fucking know. What do you think? I'm new here?
So
Jesus.
good.
I said, shut up, bartender. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. You're a little surly right now.
No, I was
Is
really.
it because you gotta pee?
Can
you taste the urine?
I gotta pee like really bad. Yeah, it's edging up. It's almost to the taste buds.
Epiglottis.
Yep. I hope you can sell this podcast for minutes. I gotta be right in line. It's drinkable.
Yeah, it's not a pour out, but God, it's not craft.
I actually don't like it, but it is drinkable. 2.5. Time to pee. And this is for Stev's uncle, who enjoys the. This is gonna take a while.
That's fine. I can carry things. I don't need to give take. So I'm in a place in life where I have a dominating fridge right now. So I go to the store. I go to Kroger. This is a story. And my wife's weekend got fucked up because of certain things. And I wanted to make something special for her. So I go to the store and I buy some Wagyu beef. And I've never bought it before. I've never made it.
You got Wagyu beef from Kroger?
Yeah. A3, by the way. A3. So middle of the quality. A5, the best. A1, lower Wagyu. So it's just salt or whatever. So anyways, I buy a bunch of beer there because I'm going and I haven't been to that Kroger in a couple of months. And I go, I'm going to buy some beer. And there's this old guy behind me. And this is the beer part of the story. And he goes, do you think you bought enough? So I bought a 12-pack of this new Mad Tree Locale Ramble On, which is fantastic. I bought a 6er of Sweetwater G13. Mm-hmm. And I bought a 4-pack of Nitrode Pumpkin from Southern Tier.
Oh yeah.
So I've got a good smattering of things. As JT's got an epic long pee. By the way, here's your pee stat.
I told you.
Most mammals that weigh 3 pounds or more, so mammals, all the way from small rodents to the blue whale, when they have a full bladder, their average exit time is 20 seconds. So it doesn't matter. It's not like blue whales take longer. So like
my average exit time.
Your urethra or their completion or whatever, but it usually has number 2. Back to the beer. So I have this smattering of beer in my cart. I've got a bunch of meat. It's just a dude cart. Bought a bunch of frozen pizzas, all this thing, this stuff to make steak because I also bought filet mignons, but I wanted to do something special for my wife. So this guy behind me is easily in his late 60s, early 70s. And he goes, do you think you have enough beer? And I go, sir, you haven't seen my bar back home because, the church room bar, and I keep a really full fridge in the cellar. And he goes, I don't think I would be impressed
Oh, he said that?
He goes, by what you bought, and he was giving me credit because I was wearing my Milwaukee Brewers tank top.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking like a complete duffel bag, and I was excited because I hadn't grocery shopped in a while.
A complete duffel bag.
Yeah.
I want to double back to that later.
Complete duffel bag. And
duffel bag.
Duffel bag.
Oh, I think it's a double bag.
No, duffel
like you're
bag.
calling yourself twice the douche.
Nope.
Okay.
And he goes, I can tell you probably have a pretty good collection. And I go, the fact that you recognize that, we should have a beer together sometime.
I don't know.
And he
just
goes,
based off of Brewers tank top.
Yeah, because he made the Wisconsin Association immediately.
People in Wisconsin have better beer collections.
Not better, but we drink.
Okay.
So and we like to drink, and all of the stats have come out. Like
sure
8 of the top 10 drunkest cities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's typically not craft beer, but some of us have graduated. So anyway, a guy that's 30 years my senior recognized.
You recognize.
He goes, I wouldn't be surprised by your.
They better recognize.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
So that was awesome. So that made my
cool.
day. That and the Wagyu beef was phenomenal. Oh goodness.
What is the cut of that? Like, what do you call it? Like, what's the?
It's not a cut. It's a type.
It's
a type. Yeah. It's butter meat. It really is. Like everyone's
That's
like
amazing.
So like I was I was talking with friends or whatever. Like it's 80 seconds aside and just salt. You don't do anything else to it.
80 seconds aside on what? How
medium in a cast iron.
On a flame or a cast iron?
So I did cast iron. Let it warm up for like 20 minutes, so it got consistent heat all the way.
Real long on that.
And you don't nothing in the pan, dry pan.
So you're basically eating almost raw middle.
And then salt, just generous amount of salt.
Generous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't salt anything.
I didn't think you did. I never accused you of that.
Yeah. So butter meat.
I've heard what Wagyu is.
It feels weird. It feels like slime.
These
almost.
are Japanese grass-fed cows, right?
Yeah. So this was New Zealand Wagyu though.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay. They're different though.
Yeah. So
the marbling is thinner.
Not grass-fed. Grass is too because you got fat.
What are they eating?
You got to fatten up the cow. So yeah, because grass is going to be a leaner. So like if you ever want to do keto, like really hardcore.
Yeah, I do.
You go with grass-fed beef because it's much leaner. Where like corn, even though like corn is bad for humans, we can't process it. That's why there's corn. That's why there's corn in your poop.
You poop that corn.
But cows, that's why they chew their cud, and that's why they have 4 stomachs, because they have to digest it multiple times down. But how it digests in the sugar makes the fat. Oh. Grew up on a dairy farm.
But the Wagyu
it's all
marbling is thinner than the marbling in a like normal.
In like a standard steak. Like Angus steak. Yeah. But
thinner.
I would buy it again.
Yeah,
I said
everyone loves it.
So I said that I would make it up. So like my Chuggalo Mikey and I we'll spend for one night for steaks for the guys or whatever. We'll spend $200 on a meal, and that's like us buying.
Kroger had Wagyu beef.
Yeah. So for this steak for like 6 ounces or whatever, it was like $20, and that's
fine.
Which whatever, we're in a position where we're bitching about $10 six pack, but
garage beer.
So if I expand that around, because like so my wife and I was like, this is the appetizer, so that wasn't like the main course or anything like that.
What was the main course, and what was the occasion?
My 20-year filet mignon. So the standard way I've got that down to an art form. There's not a lot of things that I'm confident about in life. I can't grill worth a shit.
What's your process on that?
Cast iron, 2 minutes one side, 2 minutes the other side, basting it with butter, garlic, rosemary.
That sounds good.
6 minutes in the oven.
So you prefer the prime rib?
No, filet mignon.
Filet mignon.
Yep. Prime rib.
I don't.
I make it one way. I can do that, and I can do strips.
I do like filet. Yeah.
Because it's not a quantity anymore for me. It's the thick crust versus thin crust type stuff now.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
So
I've had some ribeyes that have blown my mind.
I can't do them though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like the white guy dancing. I'm 10 and 2.
Mm-hmm. I'm not doing anything. You gotta crisp it up. It's gotta have some crunchy edges.
Yep.
You gotta really cook that fat, but you gotta do it fast. I don't know. I can't do it.
And throw a whole. Don't like try to throw 1 or 2 pads of butter into that pan when you're basting it. Throw a whole fucking stick in there.
The key is a griddle. You guys got to get a griddle. If you're not cooking on a griddle,
cast iron.
Yeah, it's a cast iron griddle.
Yeah.
I got one in my backyard. It's amazing.
But so no, I carried that all the way through JT's piss.
Yeah, that was really good. You did a great job.
Be memorable.
I learned a lot because I was listening.
Be memorable.
I'll time that later. Let's see how long it took. It wasn't 20 seconds, that's for sure.
It was much longer.
Way longer.
Because it takes me a while to tell stories.
I don't know how that happens. It just does.
Builds up. Salt. Was your salt intake high? Did you retain a little bit more on the cellular level?
I don't think so. Maybe. Yeah. Well, let's say yes. Yeah. I talked about Rhine Geist. I talked about DVC. I don't have anything else.
You killed it. I think you dominated it.
I think we really killed segment 2, which is what this podcast is all about. This podcast is about segment 2. We have a 1 and a 3.
We had a ton of off-ramps.
Those are our bookends.
We had a ton of off-ramps today. There was a lot of meat in the middle.
I'm still not done with this garage beer.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
I don't know that I'll ever be done.
Don't you dare leave those 4 beers here either. You take those.
I'll take
your father-in-law.
I'll give my father-in-law those. I'll say, Braxton. Oh yeah, Premier, Cincy Metropolitan.
No, just say Kentucky. Just say one of the best in Kentucky. Don't toss in Cincinnati.
No, you have to. You have to because now he's got a frame of reference.
No, give him an entire state versus one city's metropolitan area. Just say one of the premier brewers in Kentucky or one of the best breweries in the metropolitan area.
Here's something to think about for the next episode. Since you mentioned it.
Yep.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
Versus Dayton. Versus Columbus.
Yep.
Think about it.
Yep.
Beer. Specifically for beer.
Yep.
Think about it. Let us know what you think. If you're on Facebook, tell me your 9/11 story. I won't read it.
He doesn't read most things on Facebook.
Oh, that's also true. I do read some things.
Some things.
Very few things.
I'm getting better. I'm replying to people.
You are. I owe
people
you.
Listen.
I owe you specifically for that.
People listen right away, and I'm like in there, like Chuggalo Mikey brought up the carriage house thing. So
or Jacob.
Yeah.
On YouTube, he's like, boom, we post it, and he's already watched half of it before it even posted.
This is burp heavy.
So burp heavy. Yeah, I've checked out Jacob's channel. Burps very prominent there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be featured, I think.
I've got some meaty ones.
Meaty burps. Some sorry Stacy's.
Lots of them.
Tons of them.
Boom.
I didn't take notes today, so after we cut here, we're gonna talk about episode title.
Even when he takes notes.
That's it. yeah, that's true. I thought about that on the way here. I took all these notes. We still didn't go with the title I wrote down. That's episode 153. It's probably the rapture of episodes. Don't forget to repent, everyone.
That's
whomever you pray to.
Rapture. Rapture is going to work in there.
It'll work. Pray to your gods. Bye.